A track matte is when the alpha or luma information of one layer affects the alpha information of another layer. Let's go through that. There's a file here called track matte. You have it in your project files. Let's create a composition with that. What we're going to do is we're going to blur the face of the boy who's riding the quad. For that, I need to create a matte. So the matte in this case is going to be an oval that is going to cover his face at all times. So let's just go through it real quickly. Let's deselect the layer. And now I'll create an oval, but I won't do it on his face. I will create it by having the anchor point in the middle of the oval. You do that by leaving the mouse button down and pressing and holding the space bar while you move the shape around. You will notice that the anchor point of the shape is not going to change. Once you're done, release the mouse button first and then the space bar. Let's go ahead and rename the shape layer. I'm just going to name it matte. To rename it, select it and press enter or return and type the new name. There you go. Now I can click anywhere and now I'm committed to that name. Alright, now I'll press the letter P for position because I have to keyframe this matte so that it's always covering the boy's face. I'll keyframe it right here at the beginning and I'll change tools to the selection tool. Now I can move the shape on top of the boy's face. One of the best ways of keyframing this is now that I have keyframed the beginning, I'm going to go all the way to the end and adjust the position and the scale of the shape at the end. Now I'm going to add the scale property to this. To add it, I'm just going to press and hold the Shift key and press the letter S. S for scale. I'll keyframe it right here at the end and I'll change the value to about yay. I'll also adjust the position, maybe a little bit larger. And there you go. Now I'll go to the beginning and maybe adjust the scale to about yay. Alright, so I have done the beginning and I have done the end. Now I'm going to do about here towards the beginning and I'll move the shape until it's covering the boy's face. Now towards the end again, I'll adjust it a little bit towards the beginning, towards the end, and in this fashion I can quickly just make sure that the boy's face is always covered. Now I'm going to scrub the timeline to make sure that that oval is always on top of his face. If I need to perform some adjustments, I can quickly do so by just dragging the CTI and moving the oval to whatever place I feel needs to be moved. Alright, now I'm going to add a fast blur to the oval. And I'll adjust the amount of blurriness. This will just give me feathered edges on the matte. Now I can collapse and I can duplicate the bottom layer. So the layer of the movie, the layer of the quad, I can duplicate it by selecting it and using the shortcut which is Control or Command D. Now I have two layers which are identical. I am going to blur the top one. I already have the fast blur here. I'll just add it and change the amount of blurriness to about that until I know the face won't be able to be recognizable. Now I can go to the middle layer and I can change the track matte to be the alpha matte of the matte. And now whatever the matte is cutting a hole or revealing transparency on the middle layer so that the bottom layer shows through. And basically this is what we have. Let's perform a RAM preview.